Tzu Chi volunteers in Cambodia continue to host aid distributions to help nearly 300 families. Tzu Chi volunteer Tai Xiaoyun succumbed to brain tumors in early July this year at the age of 54. Selamat datang ke Dai Headlines, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. Welcome to Dai Headlines, I'm Simon Gan. Thank you for joining us. In Cham Kharmon or Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, the lives of a group of low-income residents relying on odd jobs become unsustainable. Volunteers visited them to understand their needs and prepared rice and daily necessities to help nearly 300 families solve their immediate difficulties.
តែដំបូងគាត់ថាអ្នកនៅក្នុងពេញអញ្ចឹងគឺអត់មានសន្តានសន្តិភាពពួកគាត់គឺប្រសើរតែធៀបបាត់គឺពេលចោះទៅគឺអត់ដោយការដែលយើងគិតទេ
These residences are built by sheet metal, bamboo, and wooden planks. The living conditions are only a little better than being homeless. This is a slum area in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia. The pandemic has made the living of residents here even more difficult.
Very few people are willing to go out now. I sell snacks and hence can make much money these days. I can only earn $7 at most a day, which is not enough for buying food for my kids.
Since the pandemic, my income has dropped a lot, but I still have to pay the rent. I can't afford spending much on other living expenses.
In order to alleviate people's difficulties, Tzu Chi volunteers have launched an epidemic relief campaign. They have prepared rice, blankets, instant noodles, cooking oil, towels, and cloth masks to send to 285 families in Chankhamont.
Affected by the pandemic, everyone's lives are very difficult. The supplies sent by Tzu Chi Foundation helped us a lot. They're not contributed by only a few people, but accumulated by the donations from many others like what you just did.
Since the epidemic, my husband has not been able to make any money. His work is very unstable. Now we have this place, which we can use for a while. Thank you very much.
The materials donated by Tzu Chi can help alleviate a lot of residents' financial burdens, especially rice, so that they don't have to worry about having nothing to eat. The money saved can then be used for other daily expenses.
Although local residents are struggling to live due to the pandemic, they are willing to contribute. They hope that through Tzu Chi volunteers, they can pass this love to more people in need.
Team members conduct their regular visits to Shimen in New Taipei City. Besides checking on the health of the seniors, they also visit a fellow Tzu Chi brother who had a stroke. They see that this brother lacks outside stimulation and took him to a familiar place to perhaps bring a smile to his face.
Team members visit this family each month and bring some laughter and joy to the family.
There are so many people here today to visit us.
Xiaoyun is 88 years old this year, while his other half is 90. During each visit, the volunteers will take down their blood pressure and also test their muscle strength. Visiting another family, team members check on Chen Chaofang. Originally, she wasn't able to raise her right hand, but after a month of acupuncture and medication, she's able to move her right hand freely.
When you use this herbal patch, you must wash the area clean, then stick it on, and don't leave it on for too long.
Team members don't just fix a patient's physical ailments, but also support their emotional health. Tzu Chi volunteer Ye Pei-xiang has suffered a stroke for 7 years now, and his mental health has not been good.
What we are most afraid of is that a stroke victim will shut himself off from the world. When they do that, it really deteriorates their condition. So we thought maybe it's best to bring Brother Pei-xiang to the cultivation ground, to a place where he's familiar with, and with the brothers and sisters he knows, to stimulate his brain.
Unable to speak the hardship he's endured, Brother Pei-xiang is surrounded by love and care. Tima helps stroke victims like him and others find an outlet for their emotional needs.
For those who cannot leave their home, a doctor will make a house visit. In Yunlin, Daling Tzu Chi Hospital promotes such a service to a remote community, providing health screening and complete medical services for the elders in the village, which turns out to be Taiwan's oldest community.
On Sunday at 6 o'clock in the morning, a crowd of people gathered at Dampi Junior High School in Yunlin County because Daling Tzu Chi Hospital is setting up a health clinic here today, preparing the most advanced inspection equipment to check the health of the elderly in this rural community.
For many years, Daling Tzu Chi and Douliu Tzu Chi hospitals have cooperated with the Health Bureau, especially in many remote places because the proportion of elderly people in the countryside is still quite high. Today, most people are probably over 70 years old.
In the past 20 years, Daling Tzu Chi Hospital went to remote villages in Yunlin and Jiayi to serve. Family doctor Wang Huiya completed 24,000 pap smears and screened nearly 400 cases for precancerous lesions. She was awarded by the Ministry of Health and Welfare's Anti-Cancer Vanguard Award.
Preventive medicine is a concept that our family medicine department emphasizes. Like pap smears, female doctors are especially needed in rural areas, so I had to take over this job.
Today, I am grateful to the Tzu Chi Hospital for cooperating with us to take care of the villagers in Dampi Township. We hope that through integrated screening, we can find out what potential problems the people have in the early stages of illness and use it as a continuous follow-up to maintain our people's healthy body.
There's also a hepatitis C liver outpatient clinic that enters the community. In fact, after screening patients for hepatitis B and C, the treatment success rate can reach 100%. But some people will give up due to the inconvenience of medical treatment.
The groups that come to the hospital for treatment are from rural areas, so we thought about whether we want to extend our outpatient clinic to more rural areas to specifically treat this group of curable patients. If we take them for treatment, it is a good thing for the patient.
Through early detection and early treatment, even dementia can be properly taken care of. The Dementia Center of Daling Tzu Chi Hospital has been deeply involved in the community for 9 years. The white-haired director, Xiaoyun, a neurologist, provides spiritual support for the elderly with dementia.
When we arrived in the community was very welcoming of us because they saw the experts coming. We went in and saw what they really need. What they need is medical treatment. What they need is social welfare. They also need legal care. So we entered together in 3 ways.
As the aging index increases, we will only get closer and closer to dementia. In order to raise the community's awareness of dementia, the Jiayi County Health Bureau and Daling Tzu Chi Hospital have cooperated to promote a dementia-friendly community project. Non-postal agents participate in training and join the ranks of dementia-friendly angels.
In the process of delivering the letter, we found that there are a lot of elderly people at home. We need more people to observe them. I think this is very important. There is rarely such education in current society.
Letting the postal agents who work in the community be the front-end investigators, and then submitting recommendations to the local health clinic and referring them to the Daling Tzu Chi Dementia Center for diagnosis and evaluation for immediate treatment and assistance can create an accepting and tolerant environment for those suffering from dementia.
Tzu Chi volunteer Dai Yuyuan succumbed to brain tumors in early July this year at the age of 54. 19 years ago, she fainted from the same tumors, but she was able to regain consciousness and continue living her life. That incident made her more aware of the impermanence of life, and she vowed to live each day to the fullest with Tzu Chi.
The smile and elegance of the Tzu Chi volunteer does not reveal that she has 3 brain tumors. It was these brain tumors that caused Dai Yuyuan to faint on stage 19 years ago.
I must be the luckiest person in the world because people rarely get a second chance at life like I did and live the most meaningful life of all.
She kept that promise, living each day to the fullest until July 4th of this year, when she fainted from a headache and never woke up again.
Your voice still rings in my ears. I so very much want to hear you call my name once more.
At her memorial service, over 400 people came to pay their respects.
Xiaoyun is an angel who often brought us laughter and joy.
She took us to sort recyclables and contribute to society. We saw that she smiled a lot and had lots of love to share.
I think she is a great bodhisattva.
阿嬷现在可以改，我跟人家做。环保精进在源头，阿嬷赞。
In Tzu Chi, Dai befriends burn victims and brings laughter and joy to the Taipei Tzu Chi hospital wards. Dai's eldest son often accompanies his mother to do volunteering, as he knows his days with her are so very valuable.
We don't know when impermanence will come for us, and I know I'm happiest when I'm with my family, so no matter how far I am away, I will always be willing to come help.
As all good things come to an end, both mother and son know there are no regrets to be had.
我很骄傲，我拥有一个这么好的妈妈。 In Taichung, there's an elderly grandmother who has to take care of her son who suffered a stroke and also her granddaughter. Since her kitchen and bedroom are upstairs, she has to climb the stairs several times a day. Fortunately, a volunteer with construction expertise has partitioned a new room on the first floor. This way, grandma does not need to climb the stairs as much as before.
Walking up the steep stairs, the grandma has to hold on to the railing and make an effort to lift her legs as she takes each step.
Taking the stairs, my feet would suddenly lose strength. I have to buy groceries, take out the garbage, and answer the postman's delivery.
As kitchen and bedroom are on the second and third floors, grandma has to go up and down several times a day, taking much risk.
Climbing up the stairs to go to the third floor, where the room is located, grandma has experienced much inconvenience.
Volunteers with an expertise in construction have come to help for free. He takes measurements and is soaked in sweat. The newly partitioned room is ready for the placement of furniture. There's a fully equipped restroom next to it. Grandma is 85 years old. 4 years ago, her daughter-in-law passed away due to cancer, and her son suffered a stroke. Because of her old age, Grandma's hands shake as she cooks. Feeling helpless, Grandma cannot hold back her tears. She has to stay strong to take care of her family. Fortunately, city volunteers will be there to support this family.
A single parent in Sichuan, China, Hu Guiying, used to run a small factory with her Taiwanese husband. The family of 5 lived a decent life, but tragedy struck in 2014 as the factory closed due to management issues and her husband passed away due to cancer. Hu Guiying now cares for the 3 children herself. She asked for help from Tzu Chi, and from that point on, volunteers visited the household once in every 2 months, making the round trip of 300 kilometers to give them a shoulder to rely on.
你们来的话，我都感觉是亲人来了，都特别亲切，特别有依靠那种感觉。
From Chengdu to Weiren County, the road trip takes 300 kilometers. For 4 years, volunteers make this trip once in every 2 months. Tzu Chi volunteers have become a helping force for Hu Guiying and her 3 children since her husband passed away.
Kids sometimes don't listen to me or get sick, and I feel sad. If the volunteers aren't here, sometimes by myself I couldn't decide on things in life, and I feel lost.
Due to the epidemic, the factory that Hu Guiying worked at closed, cutting her income. After the incident, the family had gone into tough situations. Volunteers now bring daily supplies to care for them.
I treat them as a family. It's like going to their house and eating together. By doing this, we are actually getting closer to one another.
Soon, facing the pressure of a midterm examination, the twin brothers do not know how to relieve stress properly. Volunteers tried their best to fulfill the father role by talking to them.
I worry about them in the society now. Without education, the children could go on the wrong path. This is from my personal experience, and I share it with them, giving them positive energy.
Volunteers have stayed with the family throughout 4 seasons, accumulating 7,200 kilometers of mileage, to continue their love for a single-parent family and providing a better life.
I have to learn and try my best. This could improve my family's situation.
In Malaysia, during the epidemic, 68-year-old Yap Kim Lin lost her job, unable to pay the rent, and was forced to move out of the house. She had to temporarily put her things in the parking lot and stayed in the living room of a friend's house. Upon learning of her situation, Tzu Chi volunteers came to help her clean up her stuffs and found a new place for her to live.
All of Yap Kim Lin's belongings are in colorful plastic bags. The 68-year-old lost her income during the epidemic and could not pay the rent. The deposit of the house has also been detected.
The landlord said that on the 30th, the last day of this month, you must move out.
Yap Kim Lin was forced to move out of her original residence, and her things could not be temporarily stuck in the parking lot. Her sorrows were all written all over her face.
I haven't worked in the past few months, and I haven't got any salary. It's very hard. I didn't get into financial difficulties before.
She has collected many treasures. When moving, Tzu Chi volunteers help to discard and sort them.
哇，20幾年咗，1996年，你收了啊，20多年了。
要吗？这个不要。
现在你看到被分类过后会少了很多东西。
当然肯定哦，有你们这么多人。
After the guard's advice, a storage space was finally found. After sorting the old stuff, volunteers came to her new residence to help organize them.
Then we thought that it would be really difficult if the elder cleaned by herself, so we mobilized some volunteers to help her clean.
The volunteers carefully wiped every corner of her place. The floor was covered with glue left by the previous carpet. The volunteers also took a lot of time to clean it up. Yap Kim Lin's new home looks brighter after cleaning. The next housewarming joy is the beginning of her new life.
There is a couple in Selangor, Malaysia who are both ill. Fortunately, their neighbors were Tzu Chi volunteers and applied for assistance for them. During one home visit, volunteers discovered the couple was unable to clean their home, so they mobilized a house cleaning event, allowing them to better recover from their illnesses.
Heslin Tan and her husband suffer from kidney disease. The couple have no children as the cats in their home are their babies. Things are messy and cleaning becomes a problem which the couple worry about.
After dialysis, normally I'm very tired. I cannot do anything. I wanted to hire help, but considered the financial situation I'm in, so I'm very hesitant. So I tried to do whatever I can, but as a result, I only can do a little bit.
She was out of work because of COVID-19. Then her husband could only lie in bed because his feet is weak. She received dialysis, and one day I asked her if she needed help.
We thought that if the environment is good, patients will be in a better mood. So today we mobilized 10 people to come here together to clean up with them.
It has layers of oil and dust collected. It is very thick. If I wipe it clean, and it will last longer.
You have to be careful about the cleaning. You can't just do it casually. Do it well because it is for others.
After spending a morning tidying up, the house looks better, and it can be of assistance to the health of Teslin and her husband. Her husband needs a follow-up medical consultation, and Teslin's strength alone is limited. Therefore, volunteers help transport him to the hospital. Although this family faced a difficult journey, volunteers have patiently accompanied them, taking care of them like their own family.
A Malaysian chef, Charlie Kam, who originally cooked meat dishes, changed into selling vegetarian food after getting to know Tzu Chi. At the beginning of this year, he started a small vegetarian food businesses in his community. Now, he makes many friends through the delicious vegetarian food he cooked, while also inspiring others to go meatless.
Stir-frying the ingredients over a high flame and toasting them quickly, Charlie Kam is cooking different kinds of delicious vegetarian dishes.
It's delicious with a smoky flavor. Other restaurants usually use artificial ingredients, while this one uses natural ingredients. It is important to promote vegetarianism with delicious vegetarian food. Yet, it's not easy to make vegetarian food tasty.
Charlie Kam used to be the main chef of a popular Nayoya restaurant, so he was reluctant to give up meat when his chef friend persuaded him not to cook meat dishes.
At that time, my understanding of Dharma teaching was not mature enough. Also because my family still had financial burden, so I could not change to sell vegetarian food immediately.
I got to know him in the monthly distribution. I thought it was a good cause, so I told him to cook vegetarian food instead. Anyway, all is the same except for ingredients. I asked him not to form bad affinity with sentient beings anymore, but try to promote vegetarianism as much as he could.
In 2017, Charlie Kam went to Huanian Jinshi Abode to be a volunteer. When he saw Dharma masters cook vegetarian dishes attentively, he then decided to promote vegetarianism.
It was during Lunar New Year. At Jingshi Abode, everyone asked if you have become a vegetarian, or if you have started promoting vegetarianism. I felt very blessed because I could see a variety of vegetarian dishes. I will try my best to promote Nongya vegetarian cuisine for everyone to enjoy.
Whenever there is an inspiration, there is power. Now, Charlie Kam has spared low efforts to make friends through delicious vegetarian food.
Since I've already made a vow to cook vegetarian food, I will continue to do it for everyone.
In the UK, Tzu Chi volunteers distributed face masks and face shields for a utility company which specializes in helping those in need. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.